Yo, what's up? Incredible at things straight out of Africa. I am Y311H with my bunny friend here, Kasungumo. Here to spread love, peace, honesty, and forgiveness to the whole world, to all earthlings, but with their help, wonderful. So as we shall be reacting together to these videos, which you shall see here, remember that's our mission, to spread love. So hit the like button, tell us where you're watching from, and leave some comments. Let's dive in, man. Good vibes all the way. My friends, did you see what that is?
This is next level AI voice. It's literally turning itself in the pan. I didn't got into nothing.
How can you explain that? Hey, I'm surprised.
These are real signs that are marking a dangerous turn for our world, and 2024 is going to be catastrophic. People were terrified after China had hit an unbelievable 100% relative humidity at 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius, and the humidity levels were so suffocating that when breathing, it was compared to inhaling in water, and this nightmare could be happening everywhere else very soon, with citizens needing to use a window wiper to scrape puddles of water from the ceiling and walls, and then it immediately coming back right after. Paintings were literally melting, and devices were shutting down because it was soaked from the inside out. An electrician even shows the horrific moment in which electrical switches were soaked from the inside and caused electrical shock to anyone that came near. With the viral clips showing since the ceiling was never dry, many of those looking to sleep had to sleep with umbrellas, and hilariously others had their chips drenched the moment it was taken out from the bag. Given February this year was recorded as the hottest month in record history, we may be seeing a lot more of this very soon everywhere.
Oh, crazy stuff going on this one. Company's owner, Asus owned by TH Tang from Taiwan. Dell is owned by Microdell from USA. And Lenovo is owned by Liu Chuanzi from China. This Acer company also owned by Steinshi from Taiwan. Oh, and Lee Byung-chul owns Samsung. This is from South Korea. Steve Jobs from the United States owns Apple. You see? And Huawei is owned by Ren Zhengfei from China. Akio Morita from Japan owns Sony. Oh, interesting. And David Packard owns the HP. This guy is from the USA also. You see? Yasunori Ogawa from Japan owns Epson. Hacha. Oh, and Takeshi Mitarai from Japan owns Canon. Yeah, this is interesting. Konosuke Matsushita from Japan owns Panasonic. Tanaka Hishashige from Japan also owns Toshiba. And LG is owned by some guy called Koo In-hoi from South Korea. Philips was owned by from Frederick Philips from Netherlands. And Oppo is owned by Tony Chen from China. Did you know these things? Good vibes are things. Liu Zhan from China owns Xiaomi. Just as Paul Galvin from USA owns Motorola. And Vivo is owned by Shen Wei from China. Skyri owns Redmi. He's from China. Skyme owns Redmi. Frederick Edelstam from Finland owns Nokia. And Larry Page from the USA owns Google. Reed Hastings also from USA owns Netflix. Hacha. Pierre Omidyar owns eBay from USA. And Amazon, guess who owns it, my friends? It's Jeff Bezos, also from the USA. Walmart owned by Samuel Walton, also from USA. YouTube is owned by Joel Karim. Thanks to that good vibes guy, we are able to communicate, my friend. Just like Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook. Zhang Yiming from China owns TikTok. Interesting. Jan Kong from Ukraine owns WhatsApp. And PayPal, my friends, is owned by some guy called Peter Thiel, also from the USA. Daniel E.K. owns Spotify. Okay, let's see this. Bill Gates owns Microsoft. And the big company Coca-Cola is owned by John Pemberton. Did you know that Good Vibes? I think these guys have made important developments. Gordon Bonker owns Starbucks. Ray Kroc owns McDonald's. And Harland Sanders came up with KFC. Good vibes. James McLamore owns the Burger King. And Ferruccio Lamborghini obviously owns the Lamborghini from Italy. And Ferrari, guess who owns it? It's Enzo Ferrari. Soichiro Honda owns Honda. Okay, this is interesting. And Kiichiro Toyoda owns Toyota. These guys are from Japan. Just like Michio Suzuki, who owns Suzuki, obviously. These are wonderful Good Vibes humans that have been here on Earth and left Good Vibes companies that benefit all of us.
No, it's not.
It is big. Oh, it doesn't like the dog. So they were just out there playing with this wolf.
So if any of you guys live out in nature like this is one thing that you don't want to let your dogs play with. This clip shows 3 dogs looking outside at another canine that they were just playing with, according to the people recording this video. Firstly, the people recording this video were possibly wondering if this is a wolf, but trust me, you wouldn't know if it were a wolf. Wolves are much larger than coyotes. You can see this is a wolf right here in comparison. Still, even though this is a coyote, you do not want to let your dogs play with them. Wild coyotes that are not domesticated might seem like they want to play with your dog, however, they have other things in mind. Coyotes are pack hunters and notoriously known for eating people's pets and livestock. Coyotes are known for using a variety of different tactics to lure your dogs out into the woods where they're not protected by you or their friends, and the coyotes will then attack as a pack and consume them. Now, I'm not saying 100% that this is what's happening here, but still don't let your dogs go unsupervised in locations where there's coyotes present, because they might not be coming back home.
I've never seen a coyote, neither a wolf.
Don't want to tiny little balls of mercury in my carpet for no apparent reason.
Well, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's certainly not a great thing to find in your carpet. In the clip you guys just watched, this guy was vacuuming when he started noticing these small metallic beads sitting on his carpet. However, instead of the beads being solid, they're liquid, and this points to one thing: mercury. And in general, mercury is not a great element to put yourself in close proximity with because it is toxic to the brain and kidneys. This guy also mentions he has no idea how this got here, and I feel like more than likely someone was living in this house before you, and they accidentally broke a thermometer over the carpet. Also, when you spill mercury on a regular floor, typically it's pretty easy to clean up. However, when mercury is dropped on a carpet, you are typically going to have to cut that piece of the carpet out and throw it away. And given that you don't know how this mercury got here, that means you don't know how much is in the carpet, so I would just completely replace the carpet. I would also recommend placing a flashlight close to the floor in this area and looking for more mercury because the light will shine off the beads.
Interesting facts about mercury.
Your soul can't see. Your human avatar can see. Your soul can't hear either. And this is where and how the third dimensional inverted matrix became so successful. But we're undoing all of that. And in order to undo it, sometimes you need to understand how it worked. So that's what I want to tell you today. Your soul is only ever in a relationship with you, and it can't see or hear. So it is only in relationship with you, not with your partner, your boss, your mother, your parents, your next door neighbor, or your friend. It doesn't see or hear any of those actors. Those are for you as the avatar to experience what you need to experience through those various engagements. Your soul is only ever receiving your vibratory feedback. So if you have a fight with your spouse and you shut down and your vibration comes down and your heart closes and you go up into your mind, or you're derailed by your emotions, your soul is aware that something has happened in your reality that has created this dramatic vibrational shift. but it didn't actually hear what your partner said that pissed you off in the first place. It didn't see anything. It doesn't know what anybody looks like. When you watch television shows, when you watch the news, when you watch reality play out for the people that are in your life, your soul is not aware of any of that. It is only aware of how you vibrationally respond to what you are seeing, observing, and being witness to. So I'm going to take this quickly in two different directions. One is that we all chose to come here to have very unique spiritual experiences. Some long, some short, some hard, some not so hard. But we're all in one big melting pot where we can see each other's experience. Our human looks at that as, look what's happening to, not for, look what's happening to so-and-so. So-and-so's mother has a sickness, illness, or disease. Someone else's partner just died. Someone's going through a divorce. Somebody just declared bankruptcy. And all of those things are taken on by the human avatar as, what if that happens to me? Instead of observing, deeply honoring, and having compassion for the soul journey that these souls all came to have, and that how miraculous it is, that indeed it's not a to anyone, but it is a for them all. So don't put things into your cart that aren't yours. That whole, what if that happens to me, is a very, very prevalent program that humans have that has precipitated and, I dare say, manifested in a number of different ways over thousands of years in humans just merely being witness to each other's journey and then going, oh my God, what if that happens to me? What if I lose my partner, lose my job, lose my mother, get a sickness, illness, or disease? What if that happens to me? But the experience we came here to have was only ever meant to be a for. Again, our soul is only in a relationship with us, not with anyone else. It can't see and it can't hear, but it is very, very attuned to your vibration in how you respond to what you're seeing on the screens and what you're seeing playing out in other people's lives. So here's the further learning in this, is that the unconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. So anytime you fall into a trance-like state, and that can be watching TV, driving your car, anytime you're sort of an autopilot, you're flipping in and out of trance. When you are in a trance-like state, the door to your unconscious is open. When the door to your unconscious is open, it is then perceiving anything at all that it might see, hear, or feel as it happened to you. So when you watch horror movies, when you watch the news, when you perceive other people's reality, and you are in autopilot, unconscious, unaware, or trance-like state, your unconscious mind is thinking that those things happened in your experience, when a lot of it didn't. Most of it didn't. But it also culminates in an experience that keeps our nervous system in that fight, flight, or freeze. Because if we are always seeing and perceiving that something is always happening because we're witnessing each other's experiences all the time, and we're inundated with programming, predictive programming, subliminal messages, and imagery that is often not easy to see, then our system is perceiving that it's all happening to us. So this is why it's so important to remain the observer, to stay conscious, and then expand how long you can hold that consciousness observer state and stay in your own vibration, in your own lane, in your own bubble. It's a practice. Staying conscious and aware when you're at home versus staying conscious and aware in an observer state when you're out in the world two different things, but that's your practice. Being conscious and aware when you're with your awakened people or your partner, or maybe just with your family, and then going to work where it's a mixed bag of people's belief systems, that's your work. But staying in your own vibration through your observer mode, through your being conscious and aware of what is playing out, what is for this one, that one, and the other one, being aware of how visuals affect your perception of reality, and your perception becomes your beliefs, and your beliefs become your manifesting tool. All of this is really important for you to understand how we got sucked in, and then how do we pull ourselves back out. So stay in your own lane. Understand that your soul is only ever having a relationship with you, and that it can't see or hear any of the other actors that are in your play. It only responds to your vibrational state. Be aware when you watch TV shows, when you are watching other people's realities play out, that you stay in that compassionate observer space. Understand that if there are things playing out in the world right now that are difficult to be aware of, difficult to visualize, to see, to understand, that if it was meant to be a part of your relationship with your soul, you would be there. And if you're not, your only job is to bless the souls that chose this as their experience, and to come back to the relationship that you have with your soul that can neither see nor hear your reality. Keep observing. Stay conscious. Until next time. Bye for now.
My friends, do you agree, disagree, or do you miss a thing? Leave comments. Oh, Cat's owner who recently passed away in a video. Man, this is very sad. And the cat became emotional. And they are probably wondering how they can remove those guys from the video and bring them back to life, you see? Because the cat probably remembers the good deeds that those good vibes guys did to them, you see? And that time maybe they were together. The guy or the person was loving and full of kindness towards the cat, you see? So they can still remember them. Oh, my friends, this is very sad. But it's also a motivating video, you see? Because, my friends, you see, even if we are out of this world, but the good deeds that we did are still remembered by those that are here. You see, that's very nice. And God will bless even those that shall come after us, our families, generations, all those, if we always do good, you see? Peace and love to yourself, kindly. Hit the like button and watch till the end. You see? There is this good vibes guy from some place here. I don't know where. But our friend here is like, he made an insect. Only that the insect is electrical. Now how does this one work? Humans are very creative, my friend. You see? Full of good vibes. Photos of the dark side of the moon captured by a satellite. Wow! My friend, do you see that thing that looks like a pyramid there? Oh, well. This is crazy stuff. Weird stuff. Look at these craters. They look like they have been arranged in some pattern similar to the pyramids, and it's just weird. Extremely. Oh, my friends. What do you think goes on there at the dark side of the moon? Hey, behind the moon. This is weird. Who built those stuff there, good people of Earth? Or just a normal formation and occurrence of nature? Please leave your thoughts, my friend. You tell me. But this is definitely weird. Look at this. This one looks like buildings or some houses, warehouses that are built there. This is creepy. My friend, do you think there are people or creatures that live in the moon there? Aja, you tell me please. Leave your comment. Look at this. Oh, weird stuff, those ones.
From 1922 to 1927 by the French polymath called Justin Christoflo. who was a senior member of the Society of Scientists and Inventors of France, and from 1943 to 1948 by the incredible Austrian naturalist and water wizard called Victor Scharberger. Even though so much research was made between World War I and II investigating the use of electroculture to help with the food shortages and rations during the wars, it was still not developed. After the 1950s, this knowledge was again suppressed as it didn't fit the technological coming age the policy makers wanted to create, as it would increase the growth of vegetables, plants, naturally helping and improving the well-being of human beings.
We should all be caring.
Is not a log at Crystal Castle. It was a log in a forest in Madagascar 230 million years ago in the Jurassic period. A big conifer tree with dinosaurs running around at that time. It's now become fossilized. So it's actually called petrified wood. It's turned to stone. Looks like a log. It's here in our little fossil garden at Crystal Castle. We have a collection of different fossils and ancient Orthoceras from the Sahara when it was an ocean, and these conifer logs from Madagascar. And what happened was the conifers fell, they were in swampy ground, rivers and rain came and kind of washed them down into lowland areas, and then they were covered in different minerals and silica came in and became crystallized basically. It's a crystal tree at Crystal Castle, another magical thing here.
Huh. Looks nice, my friend.
Who remembers this? Do anybody on this app remembers being inside of the womb? Or even better question, do anybody remember going through the portal towards your mother's womb? Did you know that when the baby is growing inside of the womb, there is no soul or no spirit or no consciousness, nothing in there yet? Did you know that? The soul don't get placed in there yet until close to the woman goes into labor. Actually, one say, it takes about a couple years after the kid's born to truly have the soul, because they're still connected to the spiritual realm.
Oh, my friends. So I'm going in another episode was saying they can't remember. So this is how they remove cut-ups. They use air to remove cut-ups. This is interesting. You guys, you mean you've been knowing this all along, or you're also as surprised as I am? This is how it really works. Makes me wonder, how could they have gone around it if there were some scratches on the bonnet? You see? Could the air have had some place to escape? Or you, my friend,
your
tell
soul
me.
is what you actually are.
Okay.
The soul is what's making you living. The soul is what you are, and like what your consciousness is. That's where you are actually alive at.
That's
your
amazing.
organs are alive too.
So each organ is separately alive?
And blood cells too, they're alive too.
Oh my gosh, so
yeah. Everything, even bones.
So you can speak to your
you can.
Your bones, and you can speak to your organs?
Yeah.
So let's say someone has a certain sickness in a part of their body. Do they speak to it to give it love and healing?
That can't always work, but your organs are going to try their best, because when you don't feel good, they don't feel good. They feel that too. They feel exactly what you're feeling.
So your organs want to feel good and want to survive and heal you, right?
Yes.
That's amazing.
They don't like the feeling. They feel pain too.
That is so fascinating, Bray. Thank you for sharing that.
My friend. And now in other places, deep inside the waters of I don't know where. We come across this creature here, which allegedly to me looks like a fish, you see, because of the back tail there. But now from there, going in front, I can hardly explain why I think it's a fish, you see, apart from that fear. But you, my friend, if you know of this fish, please leave us the name of it in the comment there, you see, so that we can at least do some research about the fish and know about it. Is the other parts of the body alive? Why are they not moving? Oh. And then some stuff here were recorded in the sky, my friends. Crazy big bacteria-shaped like metals flying in the sky. And it's very, very crazy. Very, very, very even uncommon. You see? Oh, my friends. This one is very not obvious. Very unobvious. Ooh, look at that thing. It just separated itself. What? My friends, do you think this is one ship that had carried two small ships? Or just some crazy stuff we cannot understand? You see? My friend, do you think these are stars? Hey, if these ones are stars, it's like now the stars have started doing other things that we don't know about. Because this is crazy. Very crazy. Very, 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 very crazy. Unbelievable. Oh my god. You see, we've been seeing here in different episodes things in the sky.
Osiris, Isis, Jesus Christ, Solomon, El Shaddai, Yahweh, Jehovah, all of those are names that reflect places or timelines. Jesus said, turn over a stone and there I am. Cut a piece of wood and there I am. So Christ represents the moon that dominates the sun. Solomon represents the sun that dominates the moon, as Sol means sun, Oman spells moon, Yah means moon, Shua means the ray of the sun. You have a biofield, and when you are born into this reality, you are born with one ring of power, and through awakening and walking and speaking, you develop another ring of power like an embryo. This is what it reflects, or it means to be born again. When you are born again, this creates the eye of the needle. At first, the eye of the needle is placed downward as water, and you begin to flip slowly through your life 4 times, which makes the number 44, because the sun has a ring of power, and this ring of power flips every 11 years. So every 11 years you go through the baptism of water, and then once you reach this part and you go through this is called a magnetic flip, you actually enter into the ark where you come above water. What does the baptism of water mean? It means that you are in a body called an avatar that is 75% water. This is the flood. Ava is the goddess of water. She is all things life. Tar is rat, water rat, or Tartarus is a prison. So you are in a prison of a body. The flood is really a time of not understanding how our mind works, being in a matrix. To be above water is to be in the number 22. So this means that you have flipped 2 times, 11, 22. Now you're above water. You are learning to hear from your heart. You're learning to hear new messages. When it flips to this position, this is where Jesus died at 33. This is the 33 mark. This is at the 12 o'clock position. This makes fire. And when this fire and water come together, the Holy Spirit descends upon the flesh as a flame, and you go through a divine marriage. This divine marriage will flip you from Yah, the moon dominating the sun. If the moon is dominating the sun, this is the mind dominating the heart. This is flesh dominating spirit. But when we go through a total flip, you enter Solomon's temple, where the sun dominates the moon. So when the sun dominates the moon, spirit dominates flesh, and you will go through a celestial school, and this is called Noah's Ark. The top part of your biofield is the letter M. The bottom part is the letter W, the master that walks on water. The letter M is the 13th letter in the alphabet. And Jesus left the Bible at 12 years old. He was not powerful. But when he came back, he was walking on water. The master that walks on water, he found 12 disciples. This means that he had entered into a realm outside of the 2 towers, outside of time, called 13.
You will flip again a fourth time for 40 days and 40 nights. And this will take you to the 3 o'clock position, which is where Tanya is, with a circle that has 3 houses. And this represents a third ring of power. The third ring of power is the sun. You were born in the moon. The god of the moon was named Sin. Then you were in the earth. The earth has many names. You can call her Gaia. You can call her Maya. You can call her Haya. She is a place that dominates Ya. Ya is the moon. Maya, Gaia, Emaya. Okay? When you grow through Gaia or Emaya, her name is also Allah. Then you get your third ring of power, which is the sun. So this is earth, moon, sun. And you grow yourself like an embryo. So once you get to the 44 position, which is 3 o'clock, you've actually entered into an invisible celestial school, and you have learned to take your consciousness, and you are just touching your ability to move your consciousness, remote view, become psychic, become an oracle, hear the invisible word of God, not the visible word of God, and begin to touch the 7-rayed master. So Yeshua means moon. Shua means the ray of the sun. These are called the 7-rayed masters. And when your fire comes to your water in that divine marriage, it makes the number 8. The fire tetrahedron reflects 4, and the water reflects 4. This is the number 8. It is your Merkaba. Now, the eye of the needle is very important. The eye of the needle is, according to your spirit guides, telling you to focus on the Vesica Piscis. Now, the 8th gate, which is the Lion's Gate, is very significant. They say that portals open every 8 seconds because the number 7 is a prison. This takes us to Osiris. Osiris's body was cut 14 times. So we'll just use the Wizard of Oz as an allegory. You're walking in the land of Oz. It's water. This is water. You go to fire. It's a frequency. To Iris, the goddess of the rainbow. This is Osiris, the land of Oz that goes to the land of Iris. When you go to the land of Iris, you go through the eye of the needle. And envisioning this, for some reason, according to your art, is very important. Osiris's body was cut 7 for her, 7 for him. To get out of this prison of 7, we have to find the number 8. This is the 8th dimension. It's your 8th invisible chakra. When you study this, there are ancients who talk about achieving the rainbow light body or your celestial incorruptible solar body through this 8th flame. Your ability to shift from this current reality to a higher world mentally. So this is all about the mind, but it's more than that. So when we're talking about Osiris and Jesus, Dagon the fish god, Baal, all of those are water gods, and Osiris's skin was green, which is Emerald City. So if you are entering Emerald City, you have entered the letter M, anti-M, a world of 13, not dominated by the earth. You are no longer dominated by physical laws. You have transcended physical laws. You are now dominated by ethereal laws. And these ethereal laws give you power. But there is a rule to this age of Aquarius, and that is you have to obey these ethereal laws. Isis is the name of 10,000 names, and the emanation of 1 is the 4th emanation. So you go from 1 to 10, 100, 1,000, and then 10,000. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4 emanations. So this 4 emanation is a communication of your 4th heart chakra, your emerald green heart chakra, which gives you the ability to grow your invisible embryo or biofield to 3 rings of power. So if you are the one, Neo, who needs your trinity, you just have to follow the white rabbit. And the white rabbit that comes out of the ark for 40 days and 40 nights is the white hair of Noah that comes out of the ark. And this is achieving Hare Krishna. Your ability to spin new realities, because you are not dominated by time, you are dominated by ethereal laws. Now the number 4 is the number 10 because 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. And so the number 10 is very important when it comes to Isis and your transcendence. But Osiris represents 14, and this is the one that is looking for the 4th ring of power. The number 4, or the fourth ring of power, is connected to the 14 pieces of Osiris's body. You are the one who needs 4 rings of power. This fourth ring of power is connected to Jesus' actual birthday, which is April 1st, which is 14 spelled backwards or inverted. So the fourth ring of power is taking you to a cross. And this cross is water, fire, and then infinity symbol. It is the olive branch. It is your true home. It is your power. It is who you are. And so it's connected to your incorruptible solar body and a golden age of Aquarius. And it's also connected to 4 towers. So let's talk about the 4 towers. In 2001, the sun flipped its magnetic polarity. The sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years. 9/11 equals 11. The 2 towers in New York City stood like the number 11 in front of a body of water that made an emanation or a mirror of itself as the letter M. But the mirror of the letter M is the letter W. So when you're talking about your biofield that makes MW and you see MW, there are beings on this realm who create black magic against our third ring of power. And so this represents 4 rings of power, but 2 rings being in the illusion, which is water. So water and fire. So when the 2 towers fell, it didn't just take away the fire of the Holy Spirit of your 13, the ark being above water and meeting your born again self and growing your spirit and all of that. It reflected a black magic that erased both. And so there may be.
Do you know what this means? It's often called preening in body language circles, and people do it when they're proud of how they look and they want others to notice them. So watch out for those preening or peacocking body language movements.
Wonderful sauce and my good friends, thank you very much for watching up to this part. You see, lots of love and respect to yourself for that gesture. You see, that one is never ever taken for granted, that gesture itself. You see? Yeah, thank you. And I believe together we can make a huge difference on this earth. So kindly, never leave without hitting the like button. You see? Believe you're a good vibe soul yourself. So we are here together. It's not a coincidence you clicked, by the way. Even if it's your first time, feel welcome and join us in our journey of spreading love to the whole world. I'm wisely 118 myself, by the way, and lots of love. In the next episode, we shall have a very long list of some good vibes guys who have been trying even to leave comments, you see, which is very encouraging. My friend, this thing tastes nice, and I wish the taste that comes from this stuff may also be added to your life. You see, you might also have flavor and nice stuff in your life. You see, all those worries that you might have come across, challenges or difficulties, may they just be taken away by God. You see, but my friend, to let go of the burden in your heart, you have to embrace forgiveness. Forgive those that have wronged you, so that God may also be able to forgive you. You see, God is full of mercy and love, and I wish He intervenes in your life. By the way,